This profitable mean reversion grid EA was fully built by AI. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it. Let's jump right into it. So let me first explain the idea behind the strategy. The idea is very simple. We are going to trade a mean reverting pair, such as the old CAD, for example, and we are going to buy whenever the RSI is oversold and sell whenever the RSI is overbought. But we are not only going to do that, we are also using the power of grid. How we're going to do it is the following. Whenever the RSI is overbought, we're going to enter a sell trade, let's say. And after that, we're going to enter even more sell trades at predefined price intervals with a given volume multiplier. So if the lot size was 0.01 at the first trade, the lot size may be bigger for the second trade and for the third trade and so on. We're going to activate a grid at that given level. So whenever the RSI is overbought, let's say it was overbought like around here, we're going to first sell the asset, then sell it again, like basic grid, with a volume multiplier, predefined price distance. The take profit mechanism is the following. We're going to close the grid basket whenever the price moves favorable for us for a given percentage. So let's say if the average price in the basket is around here and the price moves 0.02%, like down here, we're going to close the grid and we are going to call this grid basket a profitable basket, and we are going to look for new entries after that. The stop loss mechanism is the following. Whenever we reach the new theoretical sell level or buy level if we are going long, but we already opened all the allowed trades. So let's say it was 4 in this example. So 1, 2, 3, 4. For the 5th trade here, we would close out the grid and accept the loss, and then continue trading and looking for new entries. That's the main idea behind the strategy. It's very simple. Let's see how we can code it using AI. I'm sure most of you already know that there are many AI tools with which you can build actually reasonable expert advisors without writing a single line of code. Now today I've tested the 5.5 model of the ChatGPT, so the latest model. It actually gave me good results. So here's the prompt that I've put into the ChatGPT. I think you can copy it actually and you can use it with any AI. I assume that most well-known models, most proven AI models will actually be able to use this prompt to create a strategy that is fulfilling the requirements that you gave. What I did in the prompt is that I said that I want the AI to act as a professional Metatrader 5 code developer. He knows the ins and outs of MQL5 programming language and is efficient. Your code is clean and you'll find the most straightforward solution without any unnecessary step. This is actually sometimes very useful to give like even this nonsense message in your prompt that it should not take any unnecessary steps, because sometimes the AI does, and I don't really understand why, but it still does. Your task is to create an RSI-based grid EA. This system will trade mean reversions whenever the RSI signal shows extreme conditions. Sell when RSI is above 70 and buy when it is below 30, for example. Then apply a grid with a given volume multiplier at a fixed price intervals for the amount of max orders. The take profit mechanism is the following. Whenever the price has favorable excursion of, let's say, X percentage relative to the average cost basis, so to the average cost of your grid basket, you close all the trades. As for the stop loss, if all the levels are activated, so let's say I wanted to do 5 recovery trades and we would do the 6th, the prices decrease even further to a point where logically the EA would open a new trade. The strategy should stop out. So as I said before, this basically means that our grid strategy will have a stop loss basically at the next level where it would enter a new trade based on the distances, but we are not allowing it to do so. So if we have a maximum amount of trades of, let's say, 5, then at the sixth level is where our stop loss will be. The EA uses the current time frame for the RSI signal. The input parameters are the following: the RSI period, RSI buy and sell level, which was 70 and 30 in this example, base lot size for every $1,000 in the account, lot size multiplier, price distance for the orders, maximum amount of orders, and take profit excursion in percentage. Everything should be included inside one MQ5 file. You can create helper functions with clear goals. Please explain the task fully before doing it. If you have any questions before implementing the task, ask them. If not, give me an MQ5 file which fulfills these requirements. So this is actually like a very easy prompt. I came up with it in 10 minutes, I think, and it gave me a pretty good answer. He implemented the expert advisor and actually gave me an MQ5 file instead of text, which surprised me a bit because last time I used ChatGPT for coding, it actually gave me like just a text I could copy, and basically I would have to create my new MQ5 file, copy the text to the MQ5 file and then compile it. But now it gave me an actual EA, which I have to download. After it is downloaded, I will basically just copy it into my terminal. So this here is my terminal, as you see. I will go to File, Open Data folder. This here is the download folder. I'm going to cut this mean reversion EA, and I'm going to paste it into the experts tab, which I already did, but that's how you should do it. And then we go to Meta Editor. Now this is what it gave us, the RSI grid mean reversion EA. It's right here. It can actually be compiled with a single warning, which is very good in my opinion. It has the input parameters I have specified, so the period, buy level, sell level, everything I've asked it to do. In the onInit function, we check whether the input values are valid. It's pretty reasonable. Yeah, everything's fine. It's just basically checking whether you gave in nonsense input parameters or not. If not, then we are creating an RSI handle. Then we set for the global trade variable the deviation in points and the magic number. In the onInit, we delete the RSI handle. Everything's fine. Everything's looking fine so far. Then in the onTick function, we'll check whether trading is allowed. We will check whether we can fetch the ask and bid prices, which is unusual. I think like this is this always returns something, so it's never below 0.0. Then here is the first function it wrote, which is count positions, where you have to input a position type. This is nothing extraordinary. It looks through all the positions. If the position is a given position type, then we will increase the count. Otherwise, we will continue. If the buy count is above 0, we will manage the buy basket. If the sell count is above 0, so we basically, if we have buy trades, we will have to manage the buy basket. If we have sell trades, we have to manage the sell basket. For the buy basket, we calculate the average price, and then if the bid is actually the take profit price, so a percentage above the average price, we are closing the positions. If the buy count is greater than or equal to the max orders, so the max amount of trades we take, and the bid is smaller than the lowest price minus the distance, we are going to close the positions. We're getting it with a get extreme open price function. Yeah, it also just loops through the positions, and we will get the extreme price for the buy positions. So the smallest price basically for the buy positions. I assume that it's the same. Basically, it's the same logic for the managed sell basket, just for the other direction. Yeah, so it's pretty reasonable. I think it's pretty reasonable. Then if the bid is smaller than or equal to the lowest price minus the distance, we are going to open another buy order with the buy count. I think we have to pass this buy count parameter because it calculates the lot size based on it. Yeah, it has a calculate grid volume function as well, helper function. We check the account balance, raise the input lot multiplier to the power of the low order index, then we normalize the volume. We even have this helper function which normalizes volume, which is very useful because sometimes you would get errors whenever you wanted to open trades without valid volumes. So it's doing a pretty good job so far. Yeah, open sell order, same as the open buy order, basically just calculating the grid volume for the volume and then opening a sell trade. Yeah, I think every single function is now defined. Obviously, there is the get RSI value, which gets the latest RSI value. This will be used in the onTick if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so this is basically just for for the opening of the first trade. If you have an open trade, we are not going to check the RSI at all, not at all. We're just going to manage the basket that we already created by opening the trades. And that's basically it. So that's how the EA functions. Now let's run a backtest. This is the EA here, which I have selected in the strategy tester. Here you can see the input values, which is pretty reasonable. I use a RSI period of 14, buy level of 30, sell level of 70, base lot size for every 1000 account balance is 0.01. Then we even have a lot size multiplier, which is now 1.5. I think I'm going to actually reduce this because 1.5 is a pretty big martingale factor. Let's say it's just 1.3. Price distance for orders and points, which is now 400. Okay, let's keep it like that. Maximum amount of orders 3. We can actually increase it to 6 maybe, or even like 9. Why not? We want to show a profitable equity curve in the backtest. And then the take profit excursion is in percentages 0.2. Sounds pretty good to me. Let's see how it does in the backtest. Yeah, so this is actually a losing variation. Maybe if we are going to reduce this basket size because the drawdowns are too huge, but they do not happen too often. Yeah, so this for example seems like a reasonable setup. It actually made money in the last year, since 2025. I think that's the history I have. Yeah, that is the history I have for this symbol. I actually increased the spread to 15 points, which is, I think, reasonable for this backtest. So yeah, it kind of did what I asked it to do, which is actually quite surprising.
Now, with the current state of AI, I really think that you should never test your strategy and trading ideas manually. You can basically just objectively define the rule-based system that you would use and then let the Metatrader strategy tester do its own job. Also, make sure to check out my other free products and the gold breakout engine. I will have a link in the description below to all of these. If you enjoyed this video or want to see more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Cooking up with a booze. My niggas